Because see, now I'm streaming on my channels too. Because usually it's just you and me just broadcast. You know, if I'm broadcasting, I'm broadcasting on your channels, and if you're broadcasting on mine.
Yeah, I came on and I saw you weren't broadcasting, so I was like, well, maybe there was something going on, so...
Oh yeah, kiddo wasn't done with their homework. And so my new rule for this semester is I sit with the kiddo until the kiddo's done with the homework, even if that means going into broadcasting time. I don't think kiddo believed me until tonight, so that I don't think it'll happen again. I think kiddo thought that I was going to override and then just say, well, I finish it while I'm on stream or whatever. But then tonight I was like, nope, I'm just going to sit right here and sort pictures in my photographs directory.
Okay.
But I'm glad you came on because you started the show then without me, which is totally fine and actually absolutely ideal. Yeah, and you being on from time to time means that I can do stuff like I'm going to do tonight, which is I just edited a whole bunch of pictures and I'm going to go sort them into their correct directories so that I don't have to futz with them anymore.
Yeah, I've been on for 4 hours working on this.
Holy crap. Yeah, you have. Look at that. And you've only had this one person talk to you in the 4 hours that you've been on?
Yeah, and that's that's my friend who is doing the King of the Rockies thing.
We need to fix something. We are not pulling in anybody.
So I've just been quietly here working on this.
I'm good with it.
Fine with me, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'm just impressed that that's what you've been doing.
Jamming out to some epic music.
It is pretty epic.
But yeah, this has gone from they watched me go from sketch to full color.
Yeah. I mean, if you've been on 4 hours, yeah, I don't doubt it.
Oh, come on, don't do that.
Sorry, Kayan. I was just following up statements.
That's okay.
I took over Kiddo tonight. Kiddo was with Mom up until tonight. And so a lot of this is, oh, well, we got to remember to start this and don't forget to do that. And I think I did the thing in class today, and I'm kind of sad about it, where the ADD thing, where either I spoke too much or said something out of turn. But whatever happened, I could tell that the pallor in the class changed. And then my professor wouldn't call on me anymore. So I don't know what I said, but I said something, as typical with all of us, 80 years.
God, this has been a lot of fun to do tonight.
It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm not going to complain. Well, I mean, I might complain, but it'd be stupid.
So, I read I guess it was supposed to be helpful to new artists thing. And they're sitting there like, don't do sketchy lines, do confident lines. And they're showing the difference between the two.
Mm-hmm. Generally, I would agree with that, but not necessarily. I mean, like, your style has always been the sketchier lines because you're confident with your sketchy lines.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. It's like, it's really hard to just put that straight out there and go, well, don't do that. Okay, but,
Yeah, it's like, for me, I had to find this. This is my style, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, because it's beautiful in its own way.
It's not, and it's not, they're not talking to you.
Yeah,
you know what I
know.
mean? Like, in that instance, they're not talking to you. You're not the people they're talking to. They're talking to kids who start sketching and they're not sure what they're, and they're sketching the lines to kind of rough in, and you know what I mean? Like, those are the kids they're talking to. They're not talking to you. You know what you're doing. You're already down the road, a long way down the road.
Yeah, but I also feel like that sets them up for bad advice, because then it makes it so that the next person who might actually benefit from learning how to be confident with that sketch, it blocks them, because it puts them in that mode of, oh, I shouldn't do this because it's bad.
So the only problem I have, in general, I absolutely agree with you. In specifics, though, I don't know. And it's because, really, honestly, if you think about artists out there that have a style similar to yours, you're looking at a handful of them. The majority of the artists are very solid with their lines and things like that. And even looking at what you've got right there, what's on screen, there's no sketchiness to your lines. Your lines are solid.
Yeah, and that's something I've learned. I have learned to use that sketchiness to my advantage.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But your outer lines are gorgeous. Like looking in on specifically your knight up there, and like let's say his arm. Just zoom in on that arm out there. That line work is confident and solid. Mm-hmm. You're not sketchy. There's no sketchiness there.
And I sketch in the shadows.
Yeah, that's hashing. That's not sketching. Your lines are very solid. In fact, when you said it, I was like, I don't remember you being sketchy. But I didn't want to say anything because then I'd sound stupid. You know what I mean? But I'm like, no, your lines are solid and they're complete and they're whole.
Mm-hmm. But I like to use that sketchiness to my advantage. This is something that I've had to learn over time of how to use both. And I think nowadays, because of computers, how do I want to put this so I don't sound like an arrogant asshole? We've gotten too perfect.
Yeah. But again, like I'm saying, your lines aren't sketchy. They're not talking about that. I mean, what they're talking about is what you are doing fine. The line work on the castle there. Your lines on the walls are straight and not sketched and very clean. You did put the scratch marks on the side of the castle, but that's your hashing. And I think that you have the same thing that Sergio Aragonés, who does Group, right? Or even Sakai, who Stan Sakai, oh my god, who does Yojimbo. They both have a style similar to yours. Yours looks more like the comics from Mad Magazine especially when I was growing up, the 80s and the 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a comfort to your style. It's very comfortable and it's very, very accessible. They're not talking about that at all. What they're talking about is kids who sketch the outer lines. And no, you can't do that. It makes unless you're trying to make the character look freaked out.
Which is a style in and of itself.
If you're trying to make the character freak out, yeah. I mean, that's... But if your intention is to make a nice, calm, serene day, then that's not going to work. Because that's part of the communication.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, the line work on the outside is part of the communication of the system of the story. So we can't.
Yeah.
Have you seen Hide Nor? You haven't seen Hide Nor Hair of Brent, have you?
I have not.
Hmm.
It's been me jamming out here to tunes.
Well, I am glad you're here. I miss you all the time. That's just because you're so far away and it's hard to get artillery fire up there.
I know.
It's
and
difficult.
They keep moving around and...
I never finish anything. I have a black belt in martial arts.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm just saying.
Oh, man, I really miss your humor.
Sorry.
God.
I have just hit you in your side of the head. But know this because I love you. ADHD brains are fast, but the steering is difficult and the brakes are lousy. I'm preparing because I'm doing a panel.
So, you wouldn't realize it looking at this, but I realized today I've never drawn a horse before, beyond My Little Pony.
Well, My Little Pony's not bad.
So I'm sitting there like, okay, well, I guess I'm learning how to draw a horse on the fly. It turned out really nice. I like how he turned out, but it was like, I don't know how... I mean, I know how a horse looks.
Right.
But I've never actually drawn a horse before.
I think it's great. It looks awesome. So usually advertisements aren't like appreciated. However, I have to give props to Old Spice, because Old Spice ran a campaign for a little bit there with Deadpool and Wolverine. And they posted, "Deadpool comes home smelling like a hand grenade got busy with a garbage truck. Old Spice swagger deodorant can fix that." And I
Okay,
was like,
that's good.
okay, you got me there. You got me. I'm on board with this plan. I'm not going to complain about that. That was good. And then I promptly went, well, actually, I didn't need to, because I actually typically Old Spice is what I do usually wear, because I like Old Spice. So they didn't actually need to convince me, but still.
It's just to make gravel warmer. Get a little bit more red. Oh, I see the problem. Yeah.
posted a picture earlier of a Mitsubishi Starion from '86. It's still a car that some part of me just dreams of getting another version or getting another one of. I once had a Mitsubishi Starion, and I had to get rid of it. It still makes me sad.
Yeah. Particularly when you think about the cars you love.
Yeah. I'm just going to say for the record that, sometimes you fall in love with little cars. You have to let them go.
Yeah.
Good cars out there.
Only the good drive young.
Right.
What's up?
Oh, I was just chuckling at the F-89 Thunder Shriek, Thunder Shriek, I believe is what they were called. They only made a few of them. They were trying to make a propellered aircraft that would get off of aircraft carriers.
Oh, you mean the one that would it would break the sound barrier 900 times a minute?
Yep. So the post here says the enemy can't hear you coming if they can't hear at all.
Yeah.
So I can't stop chuckling.
Like one of the test pilots came up, flew, landed successfully, got out of the plane, looked at the guys around me, including the MPs, and said, "I am not going back on this thing, and you guys are not big enough to get me back in there."
Right. I think the other thing is that he had pooped his pants too. Like, it was brutal because the synchronization of the noise had massaged his bowels. It was like, that's a thing. I'm like, yeah, well, we can't. Yeah, nothing we can say about that. Oh, it is 18 degrees outside. Look at that. And it's nicely cooled down.
Wow, this turned out really nice.
Oh, I just changed I managed to get um, Adobe to change my account to a student account, which
So
is
who did
useful.
you have to sacrifice to get that to happen?
Right? Like, I thought this was going to be pretty hard. I did actually have to talk to somebody. Like, I actually had to get somebody online, but once I did, they were like, all I need is a photo of your student ID and your expected graduation time, and they switched it, and now I only pay $20 a month for all of ridiculousness, which is actually nice. Could be far worse.
I mean, considering all the ridiculousness that's been happening lately, like everything.
Yeah, gestures in general.
Yeah.
Considering everything that just gestures generally.
Yeah, it's like,
Civilian version of the B-17. I saved some wild, weird, bizarre machines.
yeah, but eventually those will come back to help you when you're designing, aircraft and that sort of thing for yourself.
Agreed.
Oh, I don't know how often you eat at McDonald's.
It what?
I don't know how often you eat at McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
But if you like the Big Mac meal, go to Chili's.
The Big Mac meal will kill you?
No, go to Chili's instead.
Oh, okay.
On their 3 for Me menu, they have the Big Smasher or something like that. It's a smash burger.
Uh-huh.
It's essentially a Big Mac. You get drink, fries, the sandwich, and an appetizer for $1 less than a Big Mac.
Huh. At Chili's?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
And I confirmed this. I got one the other day.
Yeah, I actually do like Big Macs. I actually bought Thousand Island dressing so I can put it on my hamburgers because I dig Big Macs or hamburgers now with that.
But yeah, it's pretty sad when I can go to a casual sit-down restaurant and it's cheaper than fast food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed. I will keep that in mind from this point forward.
What's with the heavy breathing in this song?
I don't know. Sometimes it gets stuck in I can't hear it well enough. So all I hear is bum 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 bum, and it's like, okay, you know. I have rolled back to a point now where I mean, in my pictures directory, I've rolled back to a point now where I remember some of these things, but then last summer happened and I literally just dropped like 10 or 12 of these. And now I'm looking back on it and going, oh, that's right. Like there was that writing prompt: the men in your family die the moment they turn 18 due to a curse cast on one of your ancestors by a witch. You turned 18 a week ago and are still living. And as a result, the descendant of the witch has arrived to figure out why you didn't die. And I had an idea for a beautiful, like, short comic for that. But that happened just before last summer, and everything went to crap over the summer, and my world is a completely different place now. I'm on the other side.
Yeah, but I'm getting that Geraldo thing where it's like, you are not the father. And the guy just passes out.
Yeah.
As horrible as that is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, but it's still a thing. I don't know. I just was like, well. Anyway, it's the other side of that. That, you know, it's just interesting that there were things and then it's gone, you know? It's like,
yeah. No, and there's so much that has happened since last year.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just been such a different world, you know? Which, you know, okay, that's fine. We got it. I'm just still kind of doing the wheel.
What's up?
I'm just doing the wheel. I'm just going along with my life here. You know, wheel. I'm going back and finding all the stuff about neurodivergence that I saved.
Speaking of which, did you see the thing with Tim Wall's kid Gus?
Who? Oh yeah, Tim Wall's kids. What?
His name is Gus.
Oh, okay. I thought you said death, and I was like, death? Well, no, I
No,
you know,
Gus.
No. Yeah. No, we're good. I'm with you now. Better than death. I'm good now. But yeah. Some of the stuff that's been going on. First of all, I think the kid's great. You know, I'm like, hey, go for it, bro. You know.
Well, he's nonverbal ADHD.
Yeah.
And, you know, his dad was giving a speech and he got emotional and said, "That's my daddy up there."
Yeah. And they mocked him for it.
And it was such a beautiful moment.
It was. It was.
I don't know. I think we need to get back in touch with, humanity.
Mm-hmm. You're not gonna get any argument out of me. I actually I have a theory that a lot of things stem from that. Not just, I mean, like things like misogyny stems from, because people who are in touch with their emotions and calmer and nicer to themselves communicate better with women, not be misogynistic. People who are not in touch with themselves, in denial about all, you know what I mean, all those things, tend to be more misogynistic. And I think what has happened over the years is that you get to a point where you get to a point in kind of a way where you can't communicate with women well, and you need to communicate with women in order to mate, and therefore failing to communicate with women becomes an issue, and thus what you end up doing is blaming the women and ultimately institutionalizing that in culture.
Yeah.
And that becomes part of the culture, and they lay it out that way. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
I also
that's a
think
thing.
I think there's also a little bit of mental health in there too.
Mm-hmm.
That we treat mental health the same way we treat a like broken leg. It's like, oh, it's not really broken. Just walk it off. It'll be fine.
Right.
You know.
Well, and that is definitely a part of the problem, is definitely the way we treat mental health in all of the societies. You're right. But on this particular instance, I think this also gives a sense of entitlement.
Yeah.
Not to what you were saying, but to what I was saying, which was women, I can't communicate with women, ergo I have to control them, ergo they belong to me. There have been a couple of posts I have been seeing with authors or musicians, or there's one lady I follow whom she's Scottish, and all she has is the Scottish word of the day. That's it. That is her whole thing. And now she no longer videos herself. Now she videos her dog and talks over it, because people keep talking about how they would like to breed her. And it's just disturbing. Like, and it's like, how can people think that way? And it's because they don't have control, and thus they generate ownership in their own brain. They own the person. And so anyway, that was to my point, not to yours. Your point is also true, but in a different direction.
Yeah.
Because your point is absolutely correct. We really need to fix something on that one too. Anyway, I feel like I overran you and went a different direction. I apologize.
No, you're good to go. I was actually looking at something else.
I just don't want to overrun.
I was taking a mental break.
It's all good. Just want to make sure you know you're loved. You know. You're loved.
Yes.
That's the other thing. I am trying very hard recently to tell people I love them. Another thing that our culture does not do very well. Like,
no.
And I know that that's, and it's an old, back to the, are you a homosexual? Yada, yada, yada. That's bad things. And I know that, but it's one of those things. People should know that they're loved, know that they're cared for.
Mm-hmm.
Know that somebody out there thinks of them.
And that was the thing.
You are on it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and that was the thing with my one friend with his tournament. Was he came in yesterday and said, "Hey, this weekend is this tournament that he has personally put a lot of money into hosting."
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, well I'm too busy and all this." And I'm sitting here going, "Yeah, let me do some art for you. Let me find ways of supporting you, because this is cool as hell."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I guess I've been doing a lot of soul searching the past year.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm tired of the way things are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think both you and I had sort of I don't know if I want to say wake up calls. That seems kind of bizarre, but events that happened in life that made us go, yeah, that made us go, we need to do something,
Yeah. Like I describe like some of the stuff that I've been going through as being I had a cross. It was a personal line that I said I would never cross. And I crossed it, and I've been getting better because of it.
Yeah.
But it's also been very hard on me.
Yeah. I hate to say that it's been... this change in life for me has also been very good, but also really hard.
Yeah.
And I am routinely out of spoons.
That needs to go forward. That is like that. Look.
We're back far enough now that we are at the point where the posts that I'm looking at are news from a long time ago. I'm just going through and pulling all the information out of here that could possibly be useful for... I'm doing another ADHD and how to deal with it panel, because they're very useful. They work very well. And so... damn it. Keep trying to pick the thing up and slide it to the other folder, and it's just like, ah.
Why isn't this working?
Problem is, I keep seeing things about ADD, saving them, and then, okay, later. And here's an entire set of articles on ADD and how to deal with it and what you should do and better thought processes. And have a great direct translation of a voicemail from Raph, and it says, "Hey man, what's up? It's Wrath, like the wrath of Raph." So I saved it because it was particularly funny. It cracked me up. The wrath of Raph.
God.
Oh, I'm impressed. What do you think? He clearly has a bigger penis than you and me. Clearly.
I've heard louder on this side.
Yes.
I mean, unless it causes my room to rattle, I'm just not impressed anymore.
Right.
But that's another thing, is doing that. It's like, it's not impressive, dude. Why are you... I get it, you're showing off, but come on.
Well, and the thing that bothers me is I get that as well, but guys, it's 11 at night, you know?
Yeah.
I've started moving things around just a little too much. Because it starts changing the little icons. So instead of having a little upload check mark at the bottom left to show that it's synchronized with the internet or with my cloud account, I start getting little pictures of like my kid or something. It just starts getting very confused about what icon it's supposed to put on top of things. It's very funny. Hey, Ray. I don't know how long Ray's been up there. Hi, Ray. I hope you... I've just been...
Hey, how's it going, Ray?
I've been over here sorting that I didn't even think about it. Hope I didn't lose Ray.
And I've been over here just throwing away.
Oh, good. I'm glad we didn't lose you there. I'm like, sorry, bro. I think I finally hit the end of my, or the beginning of my screen caps folder. Well, it's good to have you with us tonight as we, futz around with things. It's so difficult to do. The old grab the two pictures from one folder and then drag them up to the tab above. Every time I do that, something clicks or something clicks something or I bump into something or you know what I mean? It's like, and so I end up not being, it drops it or it throws it somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, God. ADHD, attention deficit, hey donuts. See you later. Well, good luck with that, my friend. I hope you do better on that one too and chase that down.
What was going on?
Oh, just racing, put some things off, and I get that. I've been there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all kind of get at that point.
Jesus. It's just so difficult. This shouldn't be this hard. I think the thing that also irritates me is that Windows 11 doesn't easily let you keep or move things.
Yeah.
Like I can't separate things well. It's aggravation. It's interesting. Today we were talking in applied anthropology about the fact that that they're having troubles with NASA or NASA's having trouble is they need anthropologists because they're trying to figure out how to make it so that people can live in space without effectively melting down, so to speak, and they're finding that you need to add things to places to make it more comfortable and stuff like that. And they're finding that virtual reality is a plausible option that will help. And I'm sitting there going, it's funny. Star Trek has all of these things.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's almost like the people in Star Trek thought this through. I was just entertained. That's all. I think I have moved everything over. Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you get to die in space.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, see, this is looking at the bright side of things. I'm just saying.
Being Gen X is weird because there's grunge and hip hop, but there's also a lot of Phil Collins floating in your head.
Not wrong.
No, it's not. Phil Collins and Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully this makes these panels a little bit more readable. Yeah, I think that's better between 2 and 3. Because now you're getting the wind up. think I'm gonna head to bed.
Yep, I was gonna say I think we're done. We're out for the night. Hey, you went for 5 hours and 30 minutes. I think that's probably effective.
Yeah.
Think you did your bit for King and Country tonight. Hey, I'm glad though that you started the stream. And feel free to start the stream at any time you feel needed that you need to do so.
I will do so.
And I mean, don't sit there and go, I hope Guy doesn't, or whatever. I totally approve of all streaming at all times. Please use the streamy thing. All right, my friend. I'm going to go on ahead and just close her down. I'm actually going to run the end credits. So
hey, there you go.
I will shut her down. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for coming on tonight.
Yeah, and tomorrow night's Friday night, but I don't know if I'm going somewhere tomorrow night. So I might actually be open to coming on tomorrow night. I don't know. We'll have to see. So I will talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you
and
later.
as we often say for everybody else, keep your eyes in the stars.
Bye.
Bye.